Most people will never build real wealth from investing. Not because the market is unfair, not because they started too late, not because they did not have enough capital, because they never had a framework. Welcome to the ProfitByFriday.com podcast, where we replace guessing with process, emotion with discipline, and noise with one clear idea every single week. Now, let us get into it. Most investors add to positions the wrong way at the wrong time for the wrong reason. They buy a stock, it goes up, they feel smart, they add more. Then it goes down, they feel nervous, they add more to average their cost lower. Then it goes down further, they add more because they are committed to the idea. By the time the position has become the largest holding in the portfolio, it is also the worst performing one. They did not build a position, they built a trap. The instinct to add when a stock falls is one of the most dangerous instincts in investing. It feels logical. If you liked it at $40, you should love it at $32. But that logic assumes the only reason the price fell was that it became cheaper. It ignores the possibility that the price fell because something changed in the business or the market's assessment of it. Cheaper is not always better. Sometimes cheaper is the beginning of much cheaper. Think about how a construction crew builds scaffolding. They do not build the highest level first. They build the ground level, test its stability, confirm it holds weight, then add the next level. The next level only goes up when the previous level has proven it can support additional load. Every new layer of scaffolding is earned by the structural integrity of what is already in place. A crew that builds upward without confirming the lower levels creates something that looks complete but collapses under weight. Adding to a position works the same way. Each additional purchase should only happen after the previous purchase has proven its case. The stock moves in your favor. The thesis is confirmed. The structure holds. Only then does the next layer go on. Adding before the structure proves itself is not conviction. It is hope dressed up as strategy. The distinction between the two sounds subtle. It is not. Conviction is adding because the evidence is getting stronger. Hope is adding because you need the average price to be lower so the loss feels smaller. One of those is a decision based on what the stock is doing. The other is a decision based on what you need to feel. Every investor who has held a stock that fell 50% from an original entry, added 3 times on the way down, and watched it fall another 30% knows what that distinction costs. There are 3 conditions that must be present before adding to any position is justified. All 3 must be true simultaneously. 1 or 2 out of 3 is not enough. Think about a sailor reading the tide. An experienced sailor does not launch a boat the moment the water looks calm. They read 3 things at once: the tide direction, the wind, the sky conditions on the horizon. All 3 must support the decision. A calm surface with a falling tide and a storm building on the horizon is not a safe launch window. The sailor who reads only the surface and ignores the tide and the horizon does not come back. Adding to a position requires the same 3-part read. The first condition is that the original thesis is intact. The reason you bought the stock in the first place must still be valid, not somewhat valid, fully valid. If you bought because earnings growth was accelerating, that acceleration must still be happening. If you bought because a new product cycle was beginning, that cycle must still be on track. If anything material has changed in the fundamental story since the original purchase, the position needs to be reassessed from scratch before a single additional share is added. You do not add to a position whose thesis has changed. You exit it and evaluate it with fresh eyes. The second condition is that price is moving in your favor. This is the condition most investors get backwards. The instinct is to add when the price falls because it feels like an opportunity. The discipline is to add when the price rises because that is when the evidence is confirming the thesis. A stock that is moving in your favor is a stock where the market is agreeing with your assessment. A stock that is falling after your entry may be telling you something the market knows that you do not. Adding to a rising position feels uncomfortable because you are paying more than your original entry. That discomfort is worth understanding. The discomfort is not a signal that you are making a mistake. The discomfort is the price of confirmation. You are paying a higher price because the evidence is better. Adding to a falling position feels comfortable because the average price is coming down and the loss looks smaller on paper. That comfort is the danger. The falling price is not giving you a better deal. It is potentially giving you more of something that is deteriorating. The third condition is that the overall position size remains within your risk parameters. Adding correctly to a winning position still increases your total exposure. The question is not just whether the conditions support adding. The question is whether adding keeps the total position within the boundaries of what you can afford to lose without it materially damaging the portfolio. A position that has grown through successful additions may need to be trimmed rather than added to, precisely because it has become too large relative to the portfolio. The correct structure for building a position over time is a pyramid, not an inverted pyramid. A pyramid. Think about the physical structure. The base is widest. Each layer above it is smaller. The top is the smallest layer of all. The base carries the most weight. The top adds precision and upside without creating structural risk. Applied to a stock position, this means the largest purchase happens first, at the point of highest uncertainty and lowest confirmation. Each subsequent purchase is smaller than the one before it. The initial entry is the biggest commitment. The additions are refinements, not escalations. Most retail investors build an inverted pyramid without realizing it. Small initial position because they are nervous. Larger addition when the stock falls because they want to lower the average. Even larger addition because they are now emotionally committed to being right. The smallest amount of money went in when the evidence was freshest. The largest amount went in when the evidence was most questionable. An inverted pyramid feels stable when you are looking at it from the ground. It is not stable. It is top-heavy. It falls. A correctly built position pyramid does the opposite. The largest commitment is made when the setup is cleanest. The additions are progressively smaller and only happen when the position is proving itself. By the time the stock has doubled, you have a large core position from the original entry and smaller additions from 2 confirmation points. The average cost is low. The position size relative to the gain is appropriate, and you did not need to average down to get there. There is one more rule that ties this together. Every time a position doubles, the correct response is to remove a portion from the table, not because the thesis has changed, not because the stock is done, but because protecting the gain from an exceptional outcome is part of managing the full position lifecycle. Averaging down is a story investors tell themselves about discipline. Building up through confirmation is what discipline actually looks like in practice. The investors who compound over decades do not do it by adding to their losers. They do it by adding carefully to their winners and protecting what those winners produce. Amateurs average down, investors build up. Visit ProfitByFriday.com today. Subscribe free to the Friday Flash, where you will receive one stock fully evaluated through the clear framework every Friday, so that you know everything about the company before you decide to invest. No noise, no hype, just the analysis that matters. We trade for cash flow. We invest boring to build legacy. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.